Good evening and welcome to TC Network. I am Tingnay Tim Hoki bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include Kukis groups unite to condemn MES employees' abduction in Ley Mahong, demand unconditional release. Kukis people shelter in Assam's Karbi Anglong already sent back to Manipur. CSOs condemns violence between NSC and IM and ZUF. News in details. The Committee on Tribal Unity Kotu Sadar Hills Kangpokpi, along with its subsidiary area units in Ley Mahong, including the Ley Mahong Area Protection Committee (LAPC), has strongly condemned the reported abduction of an MES employee stationed at Ley Mahong on November 25 by unidentified miscreants. Kotu, LAPC, and Kukis civil society organizations express their support for ongoing search and rescue operations being conducted by the authorities. They pledged their full cooperation in efforts to locate and rescue the missing individual who is believed to have been taken from the army cantonment area. They also appealed to the suspected abductors, urging them to release the MES employee unconditionally on humanitarian grounds and reunite him with his family. In addition, the Kotu cautioned against drawing conclusions or propagating ethnocentric narratives targeting any specific community. The committee emphasized the need to avoid escalating tensions between the Kukis and Meitei communities and called for patience until official confirmation of the incident is provided by competent authorities. The committee also urged all stakeholders to act responsibly in this sensitive situation. The ongoing standoff between the National Socialist Council of Nagaland Isakmuiva, NSC and IM and the Zeliangrong United Front ZUF at Sanji Village Nonay District, which began on November 26, 2024, has drawn strong condemnation from local civil society organizations. In a joint press release, several leaders and organizations including the RNPO, RNCM, VCLA, RNLPM, RNYOM, Lamdang May Village Authority, Sanji Village Authority, Dolang Village Authority, Longsai Village Authority denounced the violence and called for an immediate halt to the hostilities which have jeopardized the safety of innocent civilians, especially during the festive season. The release particularly condemned the indiscriminate firing reportedly initiated by NSC and IM cadres near the village, describing it as a provocative act against the sentiments of the Naga community. The statement emphasized that such acts undermine public harmony and called for the cadres of both parties to immediately vacate their positions in Sanji village. In the joint press release, the CSOs expressed their resolve to cease mass protests unless they involve parties present an official commitment to respecting public interests. They also warned all parties to exercise maximum restraint and avoid actions that could lead to loss of life or intimidation of the local population. Any group initiating such conditions will be held responsible for the loss caused and will answer according to the law of the land, the statement declared. The CSOs further resolved to declare non-cooperation against any group responsible for escalating the situation. Meanwhile, the Rongmei Naga Council Manipur (RNCM) has strongly condemned the ongoing gunfight between the Zeliangrong United Front and the National Socialist Council of Nagaland at Sanji village. The violent clash has endangered the lives of many villagers, including women, children, the elderly, and the sick who remain trapped in the area. Describing the situation as a grave threat to public safety and an act of treason against the community, the RNCM urged both parties to cease fire and vacate the location immediately. The council demanded accountability for any loss of life or property and called for respect for public sentiment. Local civil society organizations have been advised to initiate rescue operations promptly. RNC emphasized the urgent need for common cooperation to ensure the safety and well-being of the affected villagers. Assam's Karbi-Anglong Autonomous Council (KASC) Chief Executive Member Tuliram Ronghang announced on Wednesday that 700 Kukis people who had sought refuge in Karbi-Anglong last year due to the violence in Manipur have already been sent back. The return process followed discussions with Kuki community leaders and organizations. Ronghang stated that the council had covered the travel expenses for the returnees and they were sent back in buses with security escorts. He also mentioned that around 1,000 more Kukizo people, including approximately 400 families, are currently sheltered in the Singhasan Hills and Borzan areas of Karbi-Anglong. Efforts will be made to help these individuals return to their homes in Manipur as well. Emphasizing the importance of ensuring a safe and peaceful return, Ronghang said that discussions had been held with various stakeholders, including student organizations and village elders from both the Karbi and Kuki communities. We will not forcefully evict them, but we will facilitate their return after discussions with social and political organizations, including the Kuki community, he added. Ronghang also made it clear that land allotments would be restricted to indigenous residents of Karbi-Anglong, those who have lived in the district since its establishment or are long-standing permanent residents. He confirmed that land rights would not be granted to recent migrants, particularly those who arrived from Manipur following the violence. The distribution of land documents aimed at securing land rights for indigenous people will not extend to these migrants. A meeting has been scheduled for November 28 to further discuss the matter, and Ronghang expressed hope for an amicable resolution. However, the move has faced criticism from some quarters. J.I. Qatar, the president of the All-Party Hill Leaders Conference, condemned Ronghang's statement as irresponsible. Qatar argued that the Kukizo people had come to Karbi-Anglong in search of shelter and security, having been displaced by the violence in Manipur. He pointed out that while the BJP government has remained silent on the issue of the groups, such as Bangladeshis and Biharis settling in the district, they have shown indifference towards the plight of the displaced Kukis. Karbi-Anglong and West Karbi-Anglong, two of Assam's three hill districts, are governed by the KASC under the 6th Schedule of the Constitution. These districts are home to a diverse range of communities, including the Karbis, Kukis, Mars, and Tados. Over the years, there has been significant tension and conflict between the Karbi and Kuki communities, largely driven by land disputes, resources, and political representation. The violence between these communities escalated in the late 1990s and early 2000s, with militant groups such as the United People's Democratic Solidarity, UPDS representing the Karbis, and the Kuki Revolutionary Army KRA engaging in armed conflict. This resulted in the deaths of over 100 people. A peace agreement signed in 2021 has since helped end the long-standing conflict between the Karbi militant groups and the state. In a desperate plea, the World Kukizo Intellectual Council (WKZIC) has appealed to Congress leaders Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge to introduce the Kuki Political Solution Bill in the ongoing winter session of Parliament. The bills aim to provide a separate administration for the Kuki people in the form of a union territory under Article 239A of the Indian Constitution. The appeal, made through a memorandum, highlights the 78-year-long hardships and persecutions faced by the Kuki people in their own land. The leaders emphasized that the Kukis and Meiteis are physically, emotionally, mentally, and economically and politically separated and can never live together again under the same administration. The memorandum also references the KNO-UPF talks with the government of India, which agreed to a separate administration for the Kukis on the lines of Puducherry. The leaders urged the introduction of the bill to bring a final political solution and fulfill the long-cherished dream of the Kukis to live in peace. The appeal comes amid the ongoing winter session of Parliament, which has seen disruptions over the Manipur crisis and other issues. Rahul Gandhi has been critical on the BJP's handling of the Manipur situation, accusing the party of divisive politics. In response to the government of India's Bal Vivak Mukt Bharat campaign, Integrated Rural Management Association (IRMA) organized multiple awareness and pledge stacking programs in 10 villages of Kangpokpi district. The event saw the participation of 704 villagers, including women, survivors of child marriage, men, children, and village heads. The program aimed to spread awareness about the ill effects of child marriage and to take a collective pledge to eradicate this social crime. Other stakeholders such as faith leaders, caterers, invitation card printers, halwait and other wedding essential suppliers also took pledge against child marriage. IRMA, a part of the Just Rights for Children (JRC) Alliance, has been working in the district to stop child marriages. In 2023 to 24 alone, the NGO, in coordination with local authorities, stopped 6 child marriages in the district through persuasion interventions and counseling of the families and communities. T. Lamzaning Haukip, Director, IRMA, expressed her support for the national campaign, stating, "We have been working to rescue our daughters from child marriage." But the nationwide campaign under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi gives a new burst of energy to all of us. Bhuwan Ribu, founder of JRC, also extended his support, saying, "What started as a calculated approach has now transformed into a nationwide movement, uniting the entire country to rally behind the idea of eradicating this deeply entrenched practice once and for all."
104 villagers in 10 villages joined hands, hold marches to welcome the Bal Vivak Mukt Bharat in Kangpokpi district. Responding to the call of the Government of India's Bal Vivak Mukt Bharat Integrated Rural Management Association (IRMA) organized multiple awareness and pledge staking programs in 10 villages of Kangpokpi district. The program saw the participation of 704 villagers, including women survivors of child marriage, men, children, and village heads, was a success, with women and men holding candlelight marches, taking pledges, and participating in an array of cultural programs to spread awareness about child marriage. IRMA is one of over 250 NGO members of the Just Right for Children Alliance, working in the district to stop child marriages. In 2023 and 24 alone, the NGO, in coordination with the local authorities, stopped 6 child marriages in the district through persuasion interventions and counseling of the families and communities. Extending complete support to the national Bal Vivak Mukt Bharat campaign launched by Annapurna Devi, Union Minister, Women and Child Department, T. Lamzaning Haukip, Director, IRMA, said, "In coordination with local authorities and the state government, we have been working to rescue our daughters from child marriage." But the nationwide campaign under the leadership of PM Narendra Modi ji gives a new burst of energy to all of us. It is a matter of immense pride that we had started in this district is now a nationwide campaign.
The Bal Vivak Mukt Bharat campaign was launched by Union Minister of Women and Child Development, Srimati Annapurna Devi, on November 27. The campaign aims to reach out to 25 crore people and has a national portal for reporting child marriage. Mizoram Home Minister K. Sabdanga has announced that displaced persons from Myanmar, Bangladesh and Manipur will be settled in separate areas within Mizoram. According to the minister, a high-level committee has been formed to oversee the settlement of these individuals, with the minister himself serving as chairman. As of now, there are 43,788 displaced persons in Mizoram, with 33,764 from Myanmar, 2,014 from Bangladesh, and 8,010 from Manipur. The minister assured that the government will provide necessary assistance to these individuals and ensure their safe settlement. The decision to settle these displaced persons in separate areas is aimed at preventing any potential conflicts and ensuring their smooth integration into Mizoram society. The government has identified specific areas for the settlement of these individuals, including the Chakma Autonomous District Council area for those from Bangladesh. The minister also emphasized that the government will provide necessary support to these displaced persons, including food, shelter, and healthcare. He appealed to the public to extend their support and cooperation to this endeavor. The Indian central government has sent rice to assist war refugees, including Myanmar citizens in Mizoram state, according to All India Radio's broadcast on 24 November, citing the Mizoram government's Food Civil Supplies and Consumer Affairs FCS and CA department. The first shipment, comprising 1,379.34 metric tons of rice, valued at Rs 5 crore, has reached warehouses in 11 districts where displaced people are residing. This aid will be distributed by district administrators following orders from Mizoram's Ministry of Home Affairs. Its refugee is allocated 31.5 kilograms of rice as part of the initial distribution guidelines. The rice has arrived and it has already been distributed in 5 districts. We are deeply grateful for the efforts of the state government and the support from the central government, said Pur Zawar, representatives of the Network for Unity Association Mizoram (NUA). He expressed hope that such assistance would provide long-term relief to refugees. He also encouraged Myanmar refugees to respect local laws and live harmoniously with Mizoram's residents, highlighting the importance of upholding the government's recognition of their plight. The NUA, established in June 2023, is a coalition of 13 organizations supporting displaced individuals in Mizoram. It works alongside local social groups and government officials to provide assistance. According to the Ministry of Home Affairs, Mizoram is currently home to 43,788 displaced persons, including 33,764 from Myanmar, 2,014 from Bangladesh, and 8,010 from Manipur. Uninsured from Taizol camp in Lunglei district, with houses approximately 800 people confirmed they had yet to receive the rice. We are grateful for the generosity regardless of the amount. This aid is a blessing, the camp in charge said. Camp residents survive only daily wage jobs such as guarding and cleaning, while also relying on donations from volunteers. The Indian central government initially refused to accept refugees and ordered 4 border states to return them following the military coup in Myanmar. However, analysts note a shift in India's stance. While India maintains ties with Myanmar's junta, it has also begun engaging with the National Unity Government (NUG) and other resistant forces, providing limited assistance to displaced persons along the Myanmar-India border. This dual approach reflects India's attempt to balance regional security concerns with humanitarian considerations amid the ongoing conflict in Myanmar. Manipur police intercepted a 4-wheeler on Palil Chandil Road, uncovering 135 grams of suspected heroin concealed within 11 soap cages inside the vehicle. The driver, identified as a 24-year-old Muhammad Roshan, was promptly arrested and authorities seized the car, the narcotics, and a mobile phone from his possession. Meanwhile, security forces intensified search operations and area domination exercises across vulnerable regions in the hill and valley districts of the state. These efforts aim to curb illegal activities and ensure public safety in sensitive zones. The movement of 262 and 336 vehicles carrying essential commodities along National Highways 37 and 2, respectively, was successfully facilitated with strict and security protocols in place. Security convoys have been deployed along critical stretches to guarantee the safe passage of goods. Additionally, a total of 94 nakas and checkpoints have been set up in various districts, covering both hill and valley areas. Despite these heightened measures, no detentions were reported for violations across the state, reflecting the efficacy of the security arrangements. Powai police in Mumbai arrested a Delhi baseman, Aditya Pandit, 27, on Tuesday on charges of abetment after his girlfriend Srishti Tuli, a 25-year-old Air Indian pilot, allegedly died by suicide in Marol, a Delhi, on Monday. The woman's family, based in Gorakhpur, told the Indian Express that they suspect the accused killed her and was trying to portray it as a suicide. They allege that he abused her in public and stopped her from eating non-vegetarian food. The family has urged the Mumbai police to thoroughly investigate the matter. Tuli was found dead at her rented accommodation behind Marol police camp in Andheri East early on Monday. Initial inquiries indicate that she was mentally disturbed due to Pandit's harassment, the police said. Pandit has been preparing for a pilot's exam but failed to qualify, they added. Preliminary police probe has revealed that when Tuli returned home after work on Sunday, she had an argument with Pandit, who had been frequenting her place of late. At around 1 a.m., Pandit reportedly left for Delhi. Tuli called him on his phone and allegedly revealed that she was going to take the extreme step. According to the police, Pandit then returned to her place but found the door locked from the inside. He called a key maker, got the room open, and found her unresponsive, officers said. Pandit rushed her to Seven Hills Hospital in Marul, where Tuli was declared dead. Soon, her family and the police were informed. Jitendra Sonawane, Senior Inspector of Powai Police Station, said they arrested Pandit under Section 108, abetment to suicide of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, on a complaint from Tuli's family. He was produced in court on Tuesday and remanded to 4 days police custody, the inspector said. The post-mortem report indicates the cause of death to be suicide. We have sent the woman's phone, which is logged, to a forensic lab to analyze her conversation with the accused. We will soon record statements from her family members, close friends, colleagues, and roommates, Sonawane added. The Mumbai police received an anonymous call on Wednesday threatening to assassinate Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The police detained a 34-year-old woman who they believe to have made the call and are verifying her background. According to the police, the main police control room received a call at 9:13 a.m. from a woman who said that a plot to kill Modi had been hatched, claiming that a weapon was ready for the plant. As the last location of the caller's mobile phone number was shown in Andheri, the Amboli police station was alerted and a police team was pressed into action to locate the caller. But the phone was switched off. After technical investigation, we tried to locate her. Meanwhile, she switched on her cell phone and was traced and detained from the Kadi Valley area in the evening. We found out that she did this call out of some frustration towards the administration system. She is not linked to any group and does not have any criminal past, said Sadashiv Nikam, Senior Inspector of the Amboli Police. Nikam added that the mobile phone was recovered from her. According to the police, the woman has studied till class 12, is unmarried and lives alone at her home. Her younger sister lives nearby. The police said she has a history of calling the police control room to seek help over petty issues. She sounded a little disturbed mentally, they added. India on Wednesday carried out the test firing of the nuclear-capable 3,500-kilometer range K4 submarine launched ballistic missile (SLBM) from the Indian Navy's newly inducted nuclear submarine, INS Arigat news agency ANI revealed on Thursday, citing unnamed defense sector sources. In a post on social media platform X, the news agency said that the test results were being analyzed at the time of reporting. The Indian Navy on Wednesday carried out the test firing of the 3,500-kilometer K4 ballistic missile from the newly inducted nuclear submarine INS Arigat. The test results are being analyzed. The boat is operated by the Strategic Forces Command, ANI social media post said. The test of the ballistic missile was done for the full range. The details are being analyzed, and the top military and political brass would be briefed by officials concerned on the exact details after complete analysis, said another ANI social media post, citing defense sources. In a significant milestone for strengthening India's nuclear deterrence, the Navy's second nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine, INS Arigat, was inducted in August during a commissioning ceremony in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, attended by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. The INS Arigat, the second submarine in the Arihant class, marks a major advancement in India's classified nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine program. The country's first indigenously developed nuclear submarine, INS Arihant, was launched in July 2009 and commissioned in 2016. By 2018, the INS Arihant was reportedly fully operational. According to the Ministry of Defense (MOD), the INS Arigat is significantly more advanced than the INS Arihant, incorporating cutting-edge indigenous technological enhancements. Both the INS Arihant and INS Arigat are powered by 83 MW pressurized light water nuclear reactors, allowing them to remain submerged for extended durations, an advantage over conventional diesel-electric submarines, which must surface frequently to recharge their batteries. Like its predecessor, the INS Arigat is equipped with 4 launch tubes on its helm, capable of carrying up to 12K 15 Sagarika SLBMs with a range of 750 km or 4 K4 SLBMs with a range of 3,500 km. In October 2022, the INS Arihant demonstrated its capabilities by successfully launching an SLBM in the Bay of Bengal with very high accuracy, according to the MOD. The INS Arigat will complement the INS Arihant in bolstering India's nuclear threat, which ensures the ability to launch nuclear weapons from land, air, and sea. With India's no first-use nuclear policy, ballistic missile submarines play a critical role in deterrence, offering the capability to survive a surprise attack and deliver effective retaliatory strikes. The junta regime's entire battalion of light infantry, 80, has been wiped out in fierce battles in Loiko township in Kaya state. The strong resistance of the Karenni armed groups led by Karenni Nationalities Defense Force (KNDF) in eastern Myanmar wiped out the junta regime's entire battalion of light infantry 80 in fierce in Loiko township of Kaya state. KNDF has confirmed the annihilation of the battalion, with a significant number of soldiers killed and their weapons seized by Karenni armed groups. The clashes between the junta regime forces and the Karenni armed groups have taken place in Loiko township since several days ago after the junta regime launched an operation in the area, attempting to gain control over the region. However, the KNDF and other Karenni armed groups put up a determined resistance thwarting the regime's plans. The KNDF effective resistance led to the complete elimination of the junta regime's light infantry battalion 80. The battalion, which comprised approximately 80 to 100 soldiers, suffered heavy casualties during the battles. The Karenni armed groups capitalized on their superior numbers and combat skills, inflicting significant losses on the regime's forces. Despite the successful elimination of the light infantry battalion 80, the Karenni armed groups have been unable to fully control Loiko, the capital of Kaya state. However, it is important to note that the majority of the territories in Kaya state are now under the control or influence of People's Armed Forces (KNDF) and other Karenni armed groups. Hamas is ready to reach a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, a senior official in Palestinian Islamist group said Wednesday, hailing the ceasefire that took hold in Lebanon. We have informed mediators in Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey that Hamas is ready for a ceasefire agreement and a serious deal to exchange prisoners, the official told AFP, however, accusing Israel of obstructing a deal. In a statement released later Wednesday, Hamas said the enemy's acceptance of the agreement with Lebanon without achieving its preconditions marks a significant milestone in shattering Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's illusions of reshaping the Middle East through force. The group also praised the pivotal role of its ally Hezbollah in Lebanon. In the occupied West Bank, the Palestinian Authority expressed hope that the ceasefire would bring stability to the region, especially in the war-torn Gaza. We hope that this step will contribute to stopping the violence and instability that the region is suffering from, the Palestinian presidency said in a statement, highlighting the need to enforce a UN resolution for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. There is no more probability of a nuclear strike now that the United States has allowed Ukraine to fire American weapons further into Russia. However, Russia is likely to expand a campaign of sabotage against European targets to increase pressure of the West over its support for Kyiv, said two senior officials, a lawmaker, and two congressional aides briefed on the matter. Over the past 7 months, a number of intelligence assessments have concluded that a decision to relax limits of Ukraine's use of US weapons is unlikely to lead to nuclear escalations, report Reuters. That views has not changed following President Joe Biden's changed US stance this month on weapons, said the sources who were granted anonymity to speak freely about sensitive intelligence. The assessments were consistent. The ATSCMS weren't going to change Russia's nuclear calculus, said one congressional aide briefed on their intelligence, referring to American missiles with a range of up to 190 miles, 306 kilometers. Russia's launch of a new ballistic missile last week, which analysts say was meant as a warning to Washington and its European allies, has not changed the conclusion. One of the 5 US officials said, while Washington assessed that Russia would not seek to escalate with its nuclear forces, it would try to match what it viewed as US escalation. The official said fielding the new missile was part of that effort. US officials said that the intelligence has helped guide an often divisive debate over recent months inside Biden's administration about whether Washington loosening restrictions on Ukraine's use of American weapons was worth the risk of angering Putin. Officials initially resisted such a move, citing escalation concerns and uncertainty over how Putin would respond. Some of those officials, including in the White House, the Pentagon, and the State Department, fear lethal retaliation on U.S. military and diplomatic personnel and attacks on NATO allies. Others were specifically worried about nuclear escalation. Biden changed his mind because of North Korea's entry into the war before the U.S. presidential election, U.S. officials have said. That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.